welcome back to Rock Tumbling Weekly. My name is Shannon, and this is a weekly video journal of all my rock tumbling projects. For those who have been watching week to week, welcome back, and I really appreciate your support and your questions and comments. And for those who are new, I love rock tumbling. And if you're a new rock tumbler or even a more experienced one and you want to see how I tumble different types of gemstones, then this is the place. Follow along. It is October in Texas and the high is still in the 90s. I'm getting started a little later today and it's already pretty warm out there. I'm really looking forward to fall actually starting to happen. Anyway, I'm probably not going to be as excited in February when I'm cleaning gemstones outside. Well, I need to get started before it gets too hot outside, so let's dig in. This citrine has been running in course for about a month now, and it really looks like I've gotten all of the major cracks and crevices worked away on these. They were mostly done last week, but I put them in for another week just to get them a little bit more perfect, and they're looking really good, really good. So we are going to put these in medium grit this week and start getting them ready for the polish process. The green Aventurine just finished 1 week in medium grit, and it's feeling softer or smoother on the outside than it did last week. So really good, really nice, and I love this color of green. Now you could see that there are kind of some internal fracture lines there that are visible, but they do pass the fingernail test, which is if you run your fingernail across what looks like a crack, if the fingernail catches, then that's something that needs to be smoothed out with either more coarse or medium, but fingernail is not catching, so the actual surface of this is really smooth. It's just something internal that we're seeing on the surface, that we're seeing through the stone. But yeah, these are looking really nice. There's a great variation of greens. I'm really enjoying this batch. All right, so we'll get this washed off really well and we'll move it over to fine. Well, sometimes we get a batch of rough that does not react the way we think it will. And this is the case with the Lepidolite. And this is Mohs hardness 3 and is just as soft as the calcite and fluorite. And my rough actually looked a little more fragile, so I thought I'll skip the course and just put it in medium. Well, it's been in medium for a week, and you know, you could see that has done very little for shaping. So I'm going to treat this as a do-over and follow the recipe that I developed with calcite and fluorite and start with coarse. I mean, many people start really soft stones in medium grit, and that's what they do. But I have found that giving it an initial couple of days of coarse really helps with shaping, as is evidenced here. So listen to me. Once I have found something that works, keep doing that. So I'm going to put these in coarse, check on them every day like I do for soft stones, and we'll see how they are next week. Here is the Larvikite after it's run in extra fine pre-polished grit, and it's looking really nice and smooth. However, I have to check everything over for this batch because this rock broke to pieces in that pre-polish batch. So I need to dig through all the ceramic media and make sure that there's no more jagged pieces left in it. But I have to check all of the other stones for damage, and I did notice that this one here, it either started breaking apart on its own or it was damaged by some of the chipped stone. But I also noticed that this one was starting to flake apart as well. So I need to remove anything that might, I need to remove anything from this batch here. Sorry, I can't speak this morning. That might actually chip away in polish and ruin the polish stage. But the rest of the other stones are looking pretty good. So I'll give them a really good wash cycle, or several, until the water runs clear, and then we'll put all of the good non-damaged stones into polish. Mookaite has been running in polish for 1 week. Now we get to check and see its progress and how it's polishing. So I'm gonna take one, rinse it, dry it, and see. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so nice. Wow. So I used to have an issue where I would run items in polish for weeks and weeks and not really get a good polish. And once I started incorporating 1000 pre-polish grit, like, my stones are polishing up really fast. So this is so nice. What a good shine. Let's check some more. And the reason why I am just picking from the barrel instead of rinsing it all to check is that if these didn't have a nice polish on them, you can just stick the stones right back in and keep it going. You do not need to recharge polish. But these are looking fantastic. Look at that dry shine. So nice. Well, this is great. I will I hand wash and burnish all of my stones once they're done with polish, because I really don't feel the need to make them tumble anymore once they've gotten to this stage. So this is awesome. Then I'll show you some pictures of the finished product. And now we're checking on the Onyx that has also been in polish for 1 week. All right. Get one that's sizable. Here we go. And we rinse. And dry. And look at that. Look at that shine. So nice. Let's check another one. This Onyx took quite a long time to shape and get ready for polish, but I'm really pleased with how this batch eventually turned out. Let's see. Dry it off, and look at that, super duper shine. Fantastic. So I'll give these a really good wash and burnish, and then I will show you pictures of the finished product, and I'll make sure to show off some of the ones that were colored really nicely. So I'm really excited about those. Excellent. Well, I have 3 barrels open today, so it's a Startapalooza today. 3 new things I'm going to start. And the first one I'm going to start with is Tiger's Eye. And this is really nice rough. However, a lot of the pieces are fairly large and won't really be conducive for good movement in the tumbler. And I have several more pounds of this with these large pieces. So I'm going to actually get my hammer and chisel out and break up some of these into just smaller pieces so that there can be a lot of good movement in the barrel and it can shape these really nicely. So, Tiger Eye, starting up. And today I'm going to be starting Howlite, which is a stone that I really like, but it is softer than most stones. I believe it's a 5 to 6. I'll have to double check, but it's going to require that I pay more attention to it and make sure that in the coarse stage that these aren't ground down too much. But I'm really excited to get this started. I've been hoarding this rough for quite a while and I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out. And then we'll be starting in a barrel today, Indigo Gabbro, which is also called just Gabbro Jasper or Mystic Merlinite or Indigo Gabbro. And it's a granite type stone. It's kind of like Larvikite. And this will be an interesting tumble. I'm curious to see how it will turn out. I think there's more risk of undercutting with Gabbro than there was with Larvikite. So I'm just going to have to keep a good eye on these as they go along through the stages. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this stone turns out. It's one I really like. So let's get that into coarse grit. That was a busy week. I'm really excited to be starting so many new gemstones, but you know, I'm a little disappointed about the Larvikite and its little setback with that rock breaking up, because I really did have to take about 5 or 6 pieces out of that. It looked like the Larvikite was it was pretty solid through most of the process and then started some undercutting right at the very end. So I've put those rocks aside, and when I do Larvikite again, I'll incorporate those in. But yeah, starting some new things, and then the Mookaite and the Onyx I'm so happy with. So thanks for joining me this week to follow my rock tumbling adventures. And, you know, if you have a favorite stone that I've been working with, you know, list it in the comments below. Or if you'd like to see me work with a particular gemstone, put that in the comments below, and I'll see if I have some rough, and if not, I can get some and put that on the agenda. So you learn about the rocks that you're interested in. So have a great week, and I'll see you next time.